Legacy is not given, it is forged. It is hammered into shape in crucibles of fire and ambition, long before it is ever celebrated in the light. In May of 2023, Chef Hilda Baci captured the imagination of a nation and then the world. For 4 relentless days, she stood at the stove, a symbol of endurance against the tyranny of the clock. She cooked for 93 hours and 11 minutes, preparing over 100 pots of food, each one a testament to her will. She put Nigerian cuisine on the map, inspiring a generation of young African women to chase their own impossible dreams.
Now announced that with a time of 93 hours and 11 minutes, Hilda Baci is the new holder for the Guinness World Record title for longest cooking marathon. Congratulations, you are officially amazing.
But the nature of a record is to be broken. The ink in the history books is never truly dry. After 6 months, the title was gone. So the question arises, after 93 hours of fire, after feeding a nation's pride, what happens when the record books are rewritten? You don't just break another record, you build a new mountain, one so large, its shadows will stretch across the world. The comeback began not in a kitchen, but in a workshop. The vision, which Hilda had held for nearly 2 years, was to be rendered in steel. The challenge was more than culinary. It was a feat of engineering. The goal to construct the largest cooking pot ever conceived for a single dish. The result is a vessel with a staggering volume of over 22,000 liters. A pot so vast, it could hold the contents of a small swimming pool.
When we got the brief, it was a bit challenging. But based on the fact that this is what we do, Ambience Media creates a disruptive image for out of home concepts. We called the team, and our director of projects here took charge of the whole process.
The project has not been done before in Africa, and we're grateful to have accomplished this. Even though it's not without challenge, it's not a mountain. Last time I was saying, it's not the basics as a result of this. And may I just give you the dimension? It's a 6x6 circumference high pot. So first off, we scouted, we talked about it. Where I'm going to get in, what kind of materials are we going to use for the fabrication? We traveled to Shaki. We're trying to look for how to probably mold the pots. Different concepts came up, and but eventually we settled for a 304 stainless sheet pot.
Mr. Ayoshe will not still get like extra just in case. With that day, fire. Go!
In the middle, stretch your hand.
It was designed not just to cook food, but to contain a dream of unprecedented skill. But a pot of this magnitude demands an offering of equal proportion. To fill it, Hilda and her team would need to gather a mountain of ingredients. The first question everyone asked was simple: how much rice? The announcement sent a shockwave across social media. This wasn't just cooking, it was calculus. A culinary equation where every grain, every gram was a variable in the formula for history.
Some of your questions have been primarily how many rice, what's the quantity of rice you're going to make, how much tomato paste are you going to need, and I thought it wise to just do a quick demo. Just want to quickly go over, like a quick math to show you the quantity of rice that we are going to be making. First information that we have that is accurate, and for this, I'm not going to be using the dimensions of the pots. I think I wanted to also quickly correct something. A lot of people have said the pot is 6 meters wide by 6 meters height. No, it is 6 meters wide by 6 meters wide, but it is about 1.1 meters tall and 1.3 meters deep, which means the pot caves in. The center point is 1.3 meters deep and the edge is 1.1 meters, like the height is 1.1 meters. Now my goal is to fill this pot up by at least 75 to 80%. To make this calculation easy, we're going to be using the volume of the pot. Now the volume is basically what the pot can contain. We put some water into the pot and we were able to get like the precise volume. So this isn't just like regular calculations that have not been verified. So the volume of the pot now, that's 22,619 liters. That is what the volume of the pot is. Now I want to fill up that pot with rice to about 80%. The yield I'm hoping to achieve is 80%. To get the quantity of rice or the volume of rice I'm supposed to have at the end of the day, I'm going to be multiplying this 22.619 multiplied by 0.80. What is going to give us is 18.095. Now you already know that when a decimal is up to 5, you can carry it over into this. So that means we can do 18.10 and leave the 5, like carry that 5. Because we're cooking such a large quantity of jollof rice, right? My assumption is that my jollof rice is going to multiply by 3, which means if I put 1 kg, that 1 kg is going to multiply 3 times. So I'm going to be using like 0.875, and then I am saying that my assumption, mind you, is that my jollof rice is going to multiply 3 times, right? So I have my 3.0 here. Now to get the quantity of raw rice that I'm going to use, right? To get this, I'm going to multiply this, right, by this, and then divide it by this 3.0. So I have my 0.875 here multiplied by 18.095, and I'm going to divide that by 3.0, right? So this is the total yield that I want. Now this is what it is by the kg, and this is what I expect that my rice is going to multiply by, and that gives us what? That's going to give us 5.27. So we have 27777, so I'm going to carry that one over and make it 8. So that means we have 5,278, which means that the kg of raw rice that I need to fill up my pot that is 6 by 6 meters that can contain 22,619 liters by 80% is 5,278 kilograms. I have decided that I'm using basmati rice to cook. Now the largest size of basmati rice that we have is 20 kilograms. So to know how many bags of basmati rice I will need by that 20 kilograms, we are going to now come back here and divide this 5.278 divided by 20, right? It's going to give us, well, 0.2639. We can carry this 9 over. That gives us what? Well, technically 0, but you can let this 0 go. 264. So in total, I will need 264 20 kilograms of rice to fill my pot up by 80%. I am making the executive decision to do 250 bags. Because we're using Gino, I also want to now calculate and let you guys know the quantity of tomato paste that I would use. For 1 kg of rice, you would need about between 0.20 to 0.35. But because it's Nigerian Jollof, I'm going to use 0.30. But now I want to find out how many kilograms of tomato paste will I need for this quantity of rice? So all you need to do, this is actually very simple, is you come here and multiply this 0.30 by the total kg of rice that you are trying to make, right? Which is the 5,278. What does that give us? We are going to need 1,000
of kg.
Yes, 583 kilograms of Gino tomato paste. The Gino that I'm using for this production is a combination of our Gino Asun tomato paste, our Gino pepper chicken paste, and our Gino patty jollof paste. So for this 1,583 kilograms, we are going to share it even, and all that is going to come together to make the most delicious, largest pot of Nigerian Asun jollof rice that you have ever tasted.
Fans were in awe, not just of her ambition, but of her meticulous mathematical mind. The numbers were staggering. She made an executive decision to work with an even 250 bags of rice. To create the iconic deep red base of a true Nigerian jollof, she calculated the need for a 1,583 kilograms of tomato paste product. And that was before accounting for the garlic, ginger, thyme, curry, and countless other spices required to bring the dish to life. By sharing every detail of this monumental undertaking, Hilda transformed the preparation into an event in itself.
No, he's saying that it's done. I'm telling him it's not done. There is what I say. Let me see what I need. No, there will be a train that will. Oh yeah, everybody go to your position. Initially, the conversation started with myself and the head of marketing. Then from there, we transitioned to speaking to some members in the brand. I spoke to my management as well. Then we decided, we need to put the team together. And I think that's one of the most exciting things. You know, with this time, obviously, it would be the same Alpha team that worked on the Cook-a-thon project. I pretty much reached out to everybody else, curated a group for production, for PR, marketing, and everything else.
It was an act of transparent ambition. She wasn't just asking the world to watch her break a record. She was inviting them to follow every step of the journey, turning passive spectators into invested stakeholders. Long before the first grain of rice would hit the pot, the world was already hooked. To understand the magnitude of this attempt, one must first understand the legend of jollof rice. In West Africa, it is more than a dish. It is a source of national pride, the subject of one of the world's most delicious and enduring rivalries, the Jollof Wars. For years, the war has been fought tweet by tweet, plate by plate, but Hilda Baci is no stranger to this battlefield. In 2021, she represented her country in the jollof phase of competition and emerged victorious.
There's pressure, and then the Ghanaians, they say Nigerians talk a lot and we're very proud, but Ghanaians really came for me. Like they've been following me on social media, in my comment section, really coming for me. So yeah, the pressure is there.
Claiming the title against her Ghanaian counterpart. She was already a champion of Nigerian jollof. Now, she plans to build a monument to Nigerian jollof so large it can be seen from space. This isn't just about Guinness World Record. For many, this is the final decisive battle in the Jollof Wars. The story of jollof begins centuries ago, long before the modern borders of West Africa were drawn. Historians trace its origin to the Wolof people of the 14th century Senegambian region. As trade and migration carried the recipe across the continent, each culture adapted it, weaving in their own local ingredients and culinary traditions. In Nigeria, jollof rice flourished, becoming something almost spiritual. It is the crown of jewel of the nation's cuisine, a dish that cuts across every tribe and ethnic group. It is the taste of celebration itself. At weddings, birthdays, and festivals, its presence signifies unity, abundance, and hospitality. The choice of jollof rice for this record attempt, therefore, a masterstroke. It was an act of culinary diplomacy. By selecting this dish, Hilda Baci transformed a personal challenge into a national mission. She was no longer just an individual chef chasing a number. She became a cultural ambassador defending the nation's culinary honor. To cook the world's largest pot of jollof is not just to set record. It is to host the world's largest party. It is an act of radical hospitality, an invitation for the entire globe to taste the soul of Nigeria. To understand the will required for this new challenge, we must remember the fire she has already walked through. The 2023 Cook-a-thon was a brutal taste of human limits. For 4 days, she battled sleep deprivation and physical agony. She pushed through, fueled by the energy of the thousands who came to support her and the millions more who watched online. She cooked through the day and through the night, a solitary figure at the center of a national celebration. When she finally surpassed the record, the roar was deafening. It was a victory, not just for her, but for the collective spirit of a nation that saw its own resilience reflected in her energy. A record, by its very nature, is a temporary thing. It is a line drawn in the sand, waiting for the next tide. For 6 months, Hilda Baci held the world. But legacies are not measured in hours alone. The loss of the record became a catalyst. It presented a choice. She could have entered a perpetual numbers game, attempting to reclaim the title by simply cooking for longer. But that path is a vulnerable one. There will always be someone willing to endure one more hour. Instead, she pivoted. She chose to build a different kind of legacy. She moved from a record of time, something fleeting and quantitative, to a record of substance, a symbolic achievement so deeply embedded in culture that its story would be more enduring than any number in a book.
2 years ago, I imagined the largest pot of Nigerian jollof rice the world has ever seen. And today, with Gino, a brand we all grew up with, my dream is becoming a reality. Hi, I'm Hilda Baci, and come 12th September 2025, I will be making the largest pot of Nigerian jollof rice the world has ever seen in this 6 meters by 6 meters pot, of course with my Gino. And you! Because what is my jollof rice without you to enjoy it?
When one mountain is conquered by another, a true champion does not really reclaim the same peak. They find a new one, a higher one, a mountain that means more. For Hilda, that mountain will be made of rice, and its peak would taste of home. In the final weeks, the plan solidifies. This is more than a record attempt. It is being organized as a cultural festival, a celebration of Nigerian food, music, and community, all centered around one colossal pot. Her core motivation remains unchanged, to truly push her limits, and in doing so, to inspire others, especially young African women, to chase their own dreams. The scale of the dream has simply grown. She is no longer just a record holder. With this attempt, she is becoming a part of Nigerian folklore, a story to be told for generations. The journey has led here, from the fire of the forge to the heart of a nation's culture, from the sting of a lost record to the creation of a new legend. The stage is set, the ingredients are gathered, the world is watching. On September 12, 2025, this pot will not just be filled with rice, it will be filled with history, with pride, with the spirit of a people who understands that a shared meal is the most powerful bond of all. It is more than a world record attempt. It is an invitation served on a colossal scale for the world to come and share a plate of Nigeria's heart.